Hello, my name is Anne Albergati, and I'm here to present to you WeBank's business proposal. WeBank started as an innovative organization that evolved into a 5013C nonprofit out of a perceived need within Fortune 500 corporations out of Texas. Innovation has always been the backbone of our company. Helping women-owned business succeed is our passion. With the release of recent reports outlining the struggles of women-owned businesses who also make up this organization's constituents, our organization has an opportunity to support them while at the same time growing our bottom line. Sheryl Sandberg, COO of Facebook, once said, "You will be defined not just by what you achieve, but how you survive." And right now, our women-owned businesses are surviving. As a 5013C nonprofit organization headquartered in Washington, D.C., WeBank has been the nation's largest certifier of women-owned businesses in the U.S. Our mission has always been to fuel economic growth globally by identifying, certifying, and facilitating the development of women-owned businesses. Our organization has an impressive history, beginning when a couple of Texas businesswomen and a representative of Nations Bank, which is now Bank of America, came together to form the North Texas Women's Business Council to support and certify locally women-owned businesses. As the council grew, the constituents wanted to expand the certification nationwide. At that time, our founder, Susan Phillips Bari, had been working on something similar through the U.S. Small Business Administration and was recommended to the council to help by a woman named Amy Millman, a representative from the SBA's National Women's Business Council. After being asked to create a nationwide certification plan, little did Bari know that at that time she would be creating what is now known as WeBank. An impressive $80,000 was raised by Jerry Martin of Frito-Lay and PepsiCo Inc. as WeBank's initial funding. 2 months later, Bari was hired as acting executive director for WeBank. Bari's mission at that time was to file for WeBank's nonprofit 5013C status, develop a board structure, and begin fundraising. Bari would go on to launch our organization in 1997, starting with 11 corporate members. Today, as a B2B nonprofit, we now have over 1,000 corporate members and 15,000 plus certified women business entrepreneurs, otherwise known as MWBEs. Our corporate members rely on our certification process as it assures them that certified women-owned businesses are at least a minimum 51% women-owned, controlled, and operated. With our core platform operating on certification opportunities, resources, and engagement, our women-owned businesses constituents rely on us to support them and advocate for them. I'd like to share a few market stats with you. According to our own 2017 annual report, women make up 47% of the U.S. workforce and are owners of 10 million businesses. The National Association of Women Business Owners report that women-owned businesses generated $1.7 trillion in sales in 2017 and contribute 8% of employment while making up 39 of all privately held firms. Of this, 5.4 million companies are ethnic minority owned and employ 2.1 million people. Sounds great, right? So where is the problem? These reports also found that out of all women-owned businesses, only 1 in 5 companies, or 4.2%, have a revenue of 1 million or more. American Express issued a 2018 State of Women-Owned Business report along with SCORE's Women Entrepreneurship Spring 2018 report, conducted that the number of women-owned businesses increased by 58%. After researching the reasons behind the growth, they found that it was a combination of necessity and opportunity. Where 1,821 net new ethnic women-owned businesses were started every day in 2017, the reasons were largely by necessity as women of color struggled with gender and racial pay gaps and long-term unemployment. These reports also found that there was a business revenue gap between ethnic women-owned businesses and non-ethnic women-owned businesses. Where the women-owned businesses is growing and employing more people, revenue share is not keeping up when you look at the overall businesses in the U.S. This is an opportunity for our organization to do more to help. After all, our mission is to provide opportunities and resources to women-owned businesses. Though we are not the only organization certifying women-owned businesses, we are one of 2 nonprofits certifying them in the private sector, next to the National Minority Supplier Development Council. We are not the only organization to provide business education as well. The SBDC, the SBA, MICASA, PTAC, and the MBDA are outside organizations that support small businesses with education and the necessary tools to run a company. Yet with roughly 1821 new women-owned businesses starting every day, our opportunity in the private sector is to educate our constituents on how to obtain corporate contracts. This is a value add, especially since our low cost to certify, ranging from $350 to $1,250 based on a company's sales revenue, is not a barrier for inclusion. In examining customer feedback, we have learned to reflect on our organization and our mission. Our mission statement is to fuel economic growth globally while identifying, certifying, and facilitating the development of women-owned businesses. As an organization, we believe diversity promotes innovation, opens doors, and creates partnerships that fuel the economy. That's why we provide the most relied upon certification standards for women-owned businesses and the tools to help them succeed. Our organization's theme, after all, is to join forces, succeed together. Yet many of our minority women-owned entrepreneurs struggle to succeed. Diversity and inclusion is the buzzword of the decade within corporations. Diversity and inclusion in the workplace means to understand, accept the value differences between employees, including those of varying backgrounds, beliefs, education, experience, and skill sets. Then there's the supplier diversity, which in the procurement world, it requires the supply chain to partner with diverse organizations. Every week there are new articles published about companies incorporating supplier diversity practices within their organization's procurement departments. This means many organizations are allocating a percentage of project dollars to be procured by small businesses. This creates more contracting opportunities for the small business, particularly certified small businesses. This is great news for our constituents. Then why do they struggle to be awarded such opportunities? The perception of WBANKs within the women-owned small business community seems split, where half of those reporting positive results from certifying through our organization, while others have reported negative results, describing the certification as a waste of time and money, or not getting anything from being certified. Though we couldn't locate public reviews for our top competitor, the National Minority Supplier Development Council, through our close relationship, however, it was fairly easy to start a discussion with them to find out if they too experienced similar feedback among their certified minority business entrepreneurs. The answer in this case was that they do experience similar feedback. This leads me to my proposed solution. My recommendation is to educate certified constituents on how to be corporate ready and how to sell to the corporate world through online classes. To do this, I plan on first building a team which will comprise of internal and external resources. This means that I will need to rally for acceptance of the plan and find a mentor to help me when I hit roadblocks. This idea will need the initial support of my immediate executive director and then present it to the board of directors of the organization. Therefore, I plan to create a presentation along with supporting documents. According to research performed by the Raccoon Gang on how much it would cost to create an online course, they estimated for every 1 hour of a course, the cost would be anywhere from $7,000 to $37,000 or $22,000 on average. By this calculation, I surmise that we will need about 8 hours of course time, which would include 4 courses in total, 1 in sales, 2 in marketing, and 1 in operations at 2 hours each, which based on the average cost comes to $180,784. We'll need to approach our local universities and Fortune 500 members for sponsorship for this program. We will need, at minimum, 6 companies to contribute anywhere from $30,000 to $35,000 each in sponsorship dollars to make this happen. Now, I know those numbers to the proposed costs can be scary. However, this innovation will benefit the organization by increasing retention, contributing to recruitment, and support the business community with a commitment to contribute to the education of women-owned businesses, showing them how they can increase their sales to over $1 million. Not only would our sponsors and members benefit from the publicity of this project, our organization would benefit by increasing the WMBE retention by a minimum of $1,050,000 and contributing to recruitment by a minimum of $2,268,000 each year. By now, you might be asking yourself, how am I going to pull all of this together? What steps am I going to take to move this proposed idea forward? Well, first, I do plan on assembling a team, again, internal and external. I will be assigning roles as far as who will do what and when. A curriculum will need to be developed, as well as a platform to which the online courses will reside. Content will need to be created, along with the visual content. Quizzes and tests will need to be designed. Video designing and shooting and editing will need to take place, along with the Q&A process developed. Then a marketing strategy will need to be created to help us promote these classes. And then we'll need to put together an enrollment process. All of which I am scheduling to probably take about 6 to 8 months to complete. I plan to have 2 mentors, one being an internal mentor, such as my immediate boss, and the second will be an external mentor, a corporate member. I plan to implement my mentor's suggestions where they make sense, especially when I hit or experience roadblocks. Mark Zuckerberg once said that the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Yes, my idea is a risk. Innovation always includes risk. Innovation isn't always on a time frame and should be the forethought of every organization to survive. However, in the real world, where change is often met with resistance, my experience has been that risk typically takes place when a company is experiencing a decline in revenue, a decline in customer retention, or a revolving door at the employee level. There isn't much to gain by not making recommendations. However, there could be everything to lose if employees never made recommendations. A customer's long-term success could depend on it. It can be difficult to give up on an idea one is pursuing, but there are times when it's necessary to do so. Those times are when a more urgent need comes up that takes precedence, when the idea becomes cost prohibiting, or when there's a lack of internal support to bring the idea to fruition. And I'm sure that there will be times when I am met with the notion to keep the status quo during the implementation of this project. It will be at that time that I plan to seek the help of my mentors. I will work on inviting those managers to observe the process, the progress, contribute to the decision-making process, and respond to any pushback and concerns that they may have. Part of our mission is to develop our WMBEs. Development can be presented in the form of education. Our organization needs to get better at educating our constituents on how to utilize its certification, how to understand the navigation in the procurement world, and how to win contracting opportunities. If we can support our constituents in this area by creating a specifically tailored online courses, I believe we can improve our WMBE's recruitment and retention rates. Thank you.